Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to All Things Division 3 Soccer with Simple Coach and Jackie. I am Simple Coach and Jackie is actually in the hallway just tooling around as she's been doing. So I wanted to get out the top 25s, which I know, hey, generate a lot of opinion. Oh my gosh. Agree, disagree, it generates opinion. But I wanted to get this out. But I'm going to do it a little differently today. I'm not really going to talk about the sort of I usually go through. Oh, this team, this is where they're at, this is what they have. I'm just going to sort of go one by one to rattle them off because I want to show something at the end, a spreadsheet that I built that I'll put in here, but I'll talk about that in a little bit. So let me just jump right into the top 25s because time is of the essence. And one of my controversial picks at number 25, 11-3-1, Montclair State. They're down 7 spots. At 24, newly ranked. Shocking that it wasn't ranked before, according to some. 7-1-6, Babson. Up 2 spots at 11-1-2, Hope College. At 22, 10-1-3, up 2 spots as well, Denison. They're having quite the year. They're really having quite the year. Impressive. At 21, 10-1-2, up 2 spots as well. Another team that's doing it, taking care of business. Wisconsin Platteville in 20th spot. At 10-3-2, John Carroll University. They're up a spot. So at 19, down 1. Oh, they're up a spot. I'm sorry. 12-1-2, Dickinson. Up 4 spots. Another team that's looking pretty good at 11-1-4, North Park. In 17th, down big, down 6 at 7-1-6, Franklin and Marshall. In 16th spot, 7-1-4, down a spot, is Connecticut College. Also down 6 spots at 8-2-4, Occidental after kind of a rough week. And up 2 spots in 14th is Johns Hopkins at 8-3-3. In 13th, 10-2-1, Claremont Mudd Scripps. They're up 4 spots. In 12th, Kenyon College, 9-2-3, and they are up 2 from last week. In 11th, down a spot. They didn't see any action, so this is just a condition of people moving around. Williams at 8-2-2. I'm sure they will be back in it. Down 2 spots. 10-2-3. Ohio Northern. They had a surprise result against Capital, so I thought. So in 9th, why I don't know. 11-0-2. Trinity. They're up 4 spots. In 8th, at 11-3-3, up 4 places is Cortland State. They seem to be back in action. In 7th, same as last week, 12-0-2, Gustavus Adolphus. And then down 3, rough week, at 9-2-2, Amherst. Now for the top 5. At 11-1-3, up a spot is Wisconsin Eau Claire. In 4th, at 10-0-3 is Middlebury. They are up a spot as well. And also up a spot to 3rd now at 10-0-3, the Jumbos of Tufts. Which leaves number 2 and number 1, both unchanged from last week. 12-1-2, Colorado College in 2nd. And then at number 1, as I've been saying all season, 13-0-1, Mary Washington. So I think I'll just say it's going to take. I think it's going to take Trinity to knock Colorado College off their perch, and I think Mary Washington plays North Carolina Wesleyan. So that's the top 25. And I apologize for running through it. Sometimes, I try to think of different things to do. I think it gets a little monotone even for myself. But I did want to share something that I kind of put together. There we go. And let me pull this up. So I've effectively, I don't know why I was thinking about it, but I was curious. You get, whatever. I love the banter, right? So people agree, disagree. This team's better than that team, whatever. I have my own rationale that I can't really explain or document. It's just, this is what I think, and so that's what I do. And it's largely based on impressions on what I see on the field, if I'm going to be honest. And, I take into account who they play, all that stuff. I've explained it before. But I was kind of curious to see where all the rankings were. Obviously, the big rank nowadays is going to be NPI, right? That, because that's going to determine who makes the tournament and all those. And I don't pretend to understand it, but I did want to see a side-by-side comparison of them. And so first column is the Simple Coach ranking. So I've ranked all of my teams, all the top 25, and the second side is the NPI ranking that just came out, or a day ago, 2 days ago. So you could see that here side by side. I've included Massey, right? Because for the longest time before, I'll just say NPI. I think that was sort of the statistical approach to ranking, strength of schedule, games, schools, that sort of thing. And you could see it again side by side. I also pulled in the United Soccer Coaches ranking, and that is, they take these regional rankings and they come up with a way in which they take the teams out of the regional rankings and then they put it into their top 25. And so I think the interesting thing is just sort of seeing where the gaps are, right? Like, for example, Vassar's on my watch list. I kind of go back and forth about how good they actually are. And so I keep him on my watch list. Rowan, who has been ranked, to me is inconsistent, but according to the United Soccer Coaches, they're 12 and 13th, which again I just find really interesting and fascinating. United Soccer Coaches and United Soccer Coaches ranks Virginia Wesleyan as a top 22. The coaches rank Buffalo State, which I don't, and Edgewood. Again, I'm not sure that there's much merit to that. I think they have to earn it a little bit more, but hey, to each his own. So the other thing I did, and this is just it's just an average. So I just took the average of their rankings. If you were ranked, I just said, okay, what's the average of all the rankings and see where you fell. And so you have this generic top 25 ranking. Actually, it goes a little bit higher. But that, again, you can sort of run side by side and see where teams are ranked and where they're not ranked. I will say for my ranking, probably the one that most people will look at, I think now, again, not arguing placement, but I think Occidental is better than what people give it credit for, and that explains my that would explain my ranking. So, but there is across the board there's disparity of where you see teams. Again, I think John Carroll's another example. I think they're good. I think 20th spot. It's probably, I think, indicative of where they are. MPI says they're not that good. They're in 40th, and Massey has them at 29th. And so, on average, like it's just a interesting comparison. So, I wanted to share that with you, and whatever you can glean or want to glean from it. I am going to post it on d3soccer.fans to give you access to. I don't know how I'll post it. Like, I might put the ranking and put a note there that says if you want to look at comparative rankings, then you could click on something. So I just have to figure out how I'm going to do it. But I did want to share it. Again, really quick. We're starting to come into the tricky season of the year. Games wrapping up, seasons wrapping up, conferences wrapping up, and then going into tournament time. So, but I did want to get this out there, and I just thought it was interesting, especially given again these rankings and the relative importance of something like the MPI, right, and sort of where teams sit. And this one, yeah, I have teams that I just watched but this ranks, the MPI ranking goes much deeper than, I actually think it's ranked every team in this spreadsheet. So, you can see in relative terms where teams are ranked. The other ones, the average, the United Soccer Coaches, Massey, and mine just go up to the top 25. I wouldn't have a life if I did it otherwise. So, but I just figured I would share this when you get a chance take a look at it. Again, just really interesting. We could quibble on, this team better than that team. This team belongs here and there. That might be accurate. I don't know. Like I said, I think each of these does their own thing and try to do the best they can. So, on that note, I know this is a quick one, but thank you. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed. Check out the spreadsheet. Like I said, d3soccer.fans. And I will post this video there as well. Hope you're doing all well and you're watching some games. All right, talk soon.